So this past week, I'm sure you both have saw on Club 520, Zaire Franklin and Jeff Teague had a heated discussion. We're not going to get into the drama side of it. I hope those two men figure those things out. But I do believe they had a very interesting conversation, and I think it's a conversation that is, to me, it's a good barbershop talk. But they both were discussing the totality of how we view NFL superstars versus an NBA superstar. And there are a lot of things that, unfortunately, that I agree on the side of Jeff, saying just how the NBA superstar is much bigger than the NFL superstar, whether it's past, present, future, current, whatever. But I do also think if you look at football in general, you can also say some things on how superstardom works in that space.
Mhm.
So, Keith, I actually want to start with you. What is your take on the debate on if NBA superstars are bigger than NFL superstars?
I think it should be obvious, right? For me, NFL players, football players wear a helmet. It's hard to really see who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Facts. Yep.
It's more now than ever that the cameras are scanning the sidelines, so you do get to see your favorite player's face sometime. But most of the time, when you see this guy, you see a number and you see a helmet. And lo and behold, if a player has on a visor, it's really hard to see what this guy looks like. So if you ain't, in the social media area, if you ain't, you know, showing off your best fits, posting a lot or whatnot, it's really hard to become that superstar as in the NFL as opposed to the NBA where you got 82 games, and if you make it to the playoffs, even more, right? And you can see it. I think NBA players sometimes, most of the time, are a lot more polarizing just as figures, man. You talking about
That's an excellent
Six
point.
foot six, 6'8".
six
Like
six.
it's
You
hard to
see
miss
somebody that's
y'all.
6'6", you automatically look at them, right? But I think that's a no brainer. I mean, even if you guys look back over history, and the players that we have had that we would call superstars, like you got a Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, the players of those ilk. But these are some of the best athletes of all time that's gotten through football. But it's sometimes where you could be somewhere, in a store, and Chris Carter is one of my favorite players. And he's in a store and I don't recognize him.
People wouldn't know.
Hall of Fame player. Nowadays, you got people like who's Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp again before his podcast, unrecognizable.
Personality.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's obvious. I think to me that's obvious. What y'all think?
Chris?
I think Keith Burks brought up some really good points. I mean, obviously, as Keith had mentioned, it's hard to be able to have name recognition and face recognition because of the helmet. The other thing that you brought up, though, that I think is a really good point is I don't know if NFL superstars, I don't know if their superstardom intersects with culture the same way it does in basketball. To your point, when you brought up Deion and Bo, their superstardom was, led by their athletic prowess. It had very little to, well, Deion obviously had a lot of personality, but even if you start naming other NFL superstars, it is oriented around how well they perform on the field. Nobody is buying Tom Brady sneakers. Like that's not the level of influence that he has, and so I think that also contributes to it too. So yeah, I would totally agree, man.